Hey y'all, today is a requested video. A lot of people were asking to see what my planner looked like at the end of the month and do like a flip through. So that's what we're gonna do today, but also keep in mind that I am not perfect. In fact, nobody's perfect. This was a really rough month. We had a lot of stressful things, a lot of illness, a lot of appointments, a lot of things going on, so we kind of didn't get as much done as I would like to, but that's okay. If this happens to you, just give yourself grace. Know that nobody's perfect and life happens sometimes. So with that, I guess we're gonna go ahead and start. So my calendar page is where I do my garden planting calendar, and this came in really handy whenever I did my fall gardening. I still have got to do my below ground crops like my beets and carrots and those things. It has just been super hot here, like 100-degree days, 115, 20-degree heat indexes, so that stuff would not have made it, plus we have had very little rain. Okay, so on our goals here, we did pretty good. We got all the bills paid, got most of the things ordered, got a lot of things done, kind of ran out of money, so we didn't get some things ordered and didn't save any money. And I did pretty good on my weekly home blessing. Usually I'm like really good with this, but I got sick, so I didn't do that. I did get a little bit of zone cleaning done and my usual things. At the end of the month, I do a weekly or a monthly review, and where I write down how many times I did all of these things, so I have that there. I did okay considering the crazy month it was. It's probably pretty good. Also got all of my outside things done, and I've got new things to add on to next month now. Also on the to-do list, we did pretty good overall. Something that I am lacking on is doing my new recipes, and this is something that I had a goal of, like 101 goals for the year, to do a new recipe every week, so I'm slacking on that. I need to get better on that, but we did pretty good for the most part. We did really good with YouTube and keeping up with videos even through the chaos. I still am not the best at moving files. I did really good with the garden. I didn't mark down weed, but actually I did weed the garden. Why I didn't do that, I don't know. I guess, I marked it over here. See, I gave myself credit for something I shouldn't have done. I put it here so I remember to do it, but it's okay. I only did it once to get like everything prepped for my fall garden, so I'm not very good at weeding. It is not my favorite thing, especially whenever it's like 100 degrees outside. So I got all this stuff done. I did pretty good with my personal stuff. I need to get a little bit better about using the water flosser. I'm not used to that, so I need to get better with that. Here's where I wrote down what we actually had for dinner, and here are my meal ideas. Now, like I say, whenever I do my meal idea video, that this doesn't always go to plan. Well, here is an example. We did pretty good considering everything, but if you look at our September, some of these were moved on to September. I know it was like chili. I know it's in here somewhere. Yeah, I added that on. And like some other things I really wanted to get to, like the teriyaki chicken that we just did not get to, they have been moved on to September. But we did pretty good and got through most of the dinner ideas. We kind of ran out of money and had to just kind of use things we had and just make do, because we ended up eating out a little bit because we got sick and all the appointments and things, so that kind of threw us off a lot. The next page is my body tracker page. I'm just gonna kind of keep that more personal since we had a lot of health things going on. I did pretty good with my exercise and all of this stuff that I do, and what I do is whenever I do it through the month, like usually every day, I'll come back and do like a review and put a check mark, and then I just count up. This is what I like doing with my planner to make it easy. I count up however many times I did it for the month, and then I can put it here for my review at the end of the month. So I really like that. I like tracking in a monthly basis like this with the tracker this way. I think this might be called the Alistair method if I'm not mistaken, but I really like doing it at a monthly basis. It's just easier. You can kind of have a lot more information at once, and it's easier to transfer as well. Also have my gratitude page, and my review and reflection page. I kept most of that private, but I decided to leave my memories. There wasn't anything too horribly personal on there, but we did have some really good results from my test. There was kind of scary test that we had going on, so that was nice. My favorite bird, the Orioles, came to visit, and I also learned of icy coffees. I had never had that before, and I thought that was the best thing ever. So that would have, like, if I had like a highlight, that would definitely be that, other than the really good test results. That was really good too. Okay, here is like where I track all of my garden harvest and things like that. As you can tell, I got sick and fell off and didn't do much with the garden because sickness and appointments and all kinds of things, but life happens. So here we have my daily pages. So that's kind of what I do. I do monthly and daily, and I kind of put my month at a glance up here and my kind of weekly to-dos kind of here. So we did really good here. We ended up not doing an auction, and I got some sauce made from our harvest. Got dinners and was doing good with the exercises. I made the English muffins, and we had appointments and all of that. And I was going to smoke the meat here, but I decided that we'd go ahead and do it on Friday. So I moved it, and that's what I'll do. I'll just kind of have these arrows to tell me whether I need to move this to a different day or the previous day or whatever. So that's what I did there. We moved it there, and because the pork and stuff takes a really long time, so we got to cook it overnight. So that's why we did that, and we decided to have our pork sandwiches here. We got our orders put in, but I didn't get to the mashed potatoes because we had a lot other things going on. We got the harvest done. I got the buns made, and also you see these little check marks here. This is for my, oh, I'm gonna have to move that out of the way. This is like something I made, like a little checklist of like my morning routine, because I was really struggling with that. So I did that here, and I did good for the most part. If you can tell, I do really good, except for the garden and exercising. Those are some of the things that I don't generally get to every day. So if you'll see like some are missing like 2 or 1, that's generally it. It's very few days am I perfect and get it all done, but just with that, I don't get everything done, but very few days I actually did accomplish that, so that was really good. Okay, so where were we at? Let's see, we got some of the desserts made that we wanted to make. We got a lot of our weekly things done that I needed to do. I think that's everything on this day. I got my weekly home blessing hour done on this day, and I should have explained that more. I'll show you in just a minute what that is. Whenever you've seen that in the front, you're probably like, what does that even mean? This is my abbreviation for weekly home blessing hour. This is from Fly Lady. But I got the mashed potatoes done. I stirred the vinegar there. I make my own homemade vinegar. If you'd like to check that out, I've got a video on that. And we went ahead and had the chicken that we smoked the next day and made a bunch of mashed potatoes. I got a return sorted because Monday we had to go to town and get all that done, as well as other things. So this is the weekly home blessing hour. I do this based upon the Fly Lady. I just kind of adapted it more for me, but I do, like, this is kind of like my physical space reset, and then this is where I kind of do like my planner reset, and kind of plan out the week. So I got most of that done. I did not get to the hash brown patties at all this month. I of course didn't weed this day. I only did that like once or twice, I'm trying to remember, something like that. I got appointments done, got the returns done, and we had a really good day with the appointments, so we decided to eat out, which cut into our budget why we didn't have as much money, because eating out is expensive, really, really expensive. So I got my exercises done. I did really good here. I kind of put weed, harvest, and water here sometimes just to kind of help remind me, but you'll see it falls off because everybody got sick and stressed and all kinds of things. These are just kind of normal things I do. So this dinner we made the homemade fish sticks with the broccoli, mac and cheese, and cheddar garlic biscuits. See, I was going to do that on Wednesday, and I'm like, nope, we're going to do it this day. So I changed things up a lot. So I am not perfect. I just kind of use my planner. It's really functional for me, and this is what works for me. So we'll continue on. I did make the tacos with the black bean and corn salsa. I went ahead and made buns this night, and I also made sauce from the harvest that we had. I don't know if I wrote down harvest. I think we had, did we do the harvest? I'm trying to remember when it was that we harvested. I may have forgot to write that down. But I made the sauce from that. It may have been a few days before too. I may have been behind. I'm not sure. I think I forgot to write that down. But anyways, it's in there somewhere. And I got the sauce made for that. I usually do that really late at night. And I went ahead and made buns really late at night because we were going to be busy the next day and I needed that for dinner. So I needed to water the garden because it was super hot and dry, and we also were busy doing other projects. We ended up having burgers that night. Still managed to get my exercise in. This is melt. This is like more of a stretching, not more of an exercise. I count it because it works great for me, and it helps me. Actually, it helps my body to not hurt as bad. So I like that a lot. So you'll see that I kind of transition and don't do the other exercise quite as much because it's a lot more intense. Here's another harvest. Let's see. We had to do all of that. This night we made taco lasagna. It's just basically where you take all the taco ingredients and make it stacked with the tortillas like lasagna. We also helped the neighbor find their dog. That was really good. The next day, this was the day that I tackled the garden, like fall garden project. I got the garden beds all weeded and got ground cover down, but ran out of ground cover, so I had to use some like cardboard. Had to regress back to what I used to do. I had to work on the checkbook stuff. I made me energy balls, so whenever I went out there and came in, I could have a little snack. These are great. They're super easy to make, and I love them. They're nice and cold and just a really fast snack. And in the evening, I got all of my seeds started for the garden. Let's see, all of like my fall seeds, like my broccoli and kale and cabbage, cauliflower, those types of things. This day we had the pork au jus with the leftover buns. So that's what I'll do is I'll make the buns, and they'll usually give us 2 nights. So I try and incorporate that a lot. Like you'll notice how I kind of use leftovers with stuff. So hopefully you'll be able to see that, and this will be helpful. After that, we made roasted potatoes, and I got the stuff from this harvest processed. I must have been really late. It's been busy. So I got the peppers processed, and I ran out of room in the freezer and had to clean out the freezer and reorganize that. That was an ordeal. Then on Sunday, I had to do the vinegar, basically where I stir it. It's really simple, but I really enjoy making it. I use herbs in my garden to make it, and I love it so much. And of course it's Sunday, so that's usually the day that I do my weekly home blessing hour. I got my morning routine done. I made some desserts, and that was dinner, the Swedish meatballs and noodles. Again, did good with my weekly home blessing hour. And what I do is I just transfer things that I have going on here. Like you'll notice there's some appointments and things like that. I don't put that on when my weekly comes on just for personal reasons. So it's like privacy reasons, I guess, more. So I add that on now because it's already happened, so it's no big deal. But I keep that off before just to have a little bit more privacy. I needed to make tea and reschedule appointments, and I didn't quite get everything done, so I had to finish that up. Since we had meatballs left over from whenever we had the Swedish meatballs, we decided to use them and make meatball subs. So I made sub rolls, and I also made homemade cheese sticks. These are super, super good. They taste even better than the ones you get in the store. They are great. And I use different cheeses too, and we really, really love it. Okay, I'm still exercising, which is good. I had to go through and sort through the donations and get them all in the vehicle. I had a bunch that had piled up that I had been needing to get to, so I got that done, which was good. Fill out forms. Since we had leftover sub rolls, because I make a big batch, we went ahead and made Philly cheesesteak the next night and had more of the cheese sticks too. These freeze well too. The cheese sticks, by the way, they are great. They're a great little convenient side dish that we like to have. And then this is, I don't know if I explained, this is like my afternoon routine and evening routine. I'm generally really good with that, and that's my morning routine if I didn't explain. I'm generally really good with those two, but I was struggling with my morning routine and had to do that, and I'll just use little check boxes to do that. Sometimes I get busy and my words get ahead of me and I don't remember what all I said. And also this video is going to be probably long, so thank y'all for sticking with me and bearing with me. I'm trying to explain things the best I can, and it was a requested video, so I hope that y'all enjoy this. Okay, so we're gonna continue on. Oh, also, I ran out of freezer space before, so I decided to go ahead and dehydrate some of the sauce too. So, and that turned out really great. The only thing is, if you're gonna make it marinara sauce, use the marinara sauce recipe, not the spaghetti sauce recipe. It was a little too salty. So that's the only thing with that. We had appointments, we dropped off the donations, got a bunch of other stuff done. I did go ahead before we left and set out potatoes and biscuits, and we picked up some rotisserie chickens and had our freezer potatoes. I make a big batch of that and make that as sides. I made a bunch of that. Like, what day was it that I made mashed potatoes here? I'm trying to find it. Yeah, this day I make a big batch. What I do is I kind of make like an assembly line, and while the ones are cooking, I peel the others and get them prepped and ready to go, and I just have this like assembly line of like peeling, cooking, and then in the mixer and then in bags. So that's what I do. That works out great to have really easy sides. Also, I do the same thing with our Southern Fluffy biscuits. I make a really big batch and I just bake them up, and these freeze really well, and it's just a minuscule difference between the frozen and the fresh. Not enough to warrant not doing it. It's great. It's better than any frozen biscuit I've ever had. So I do that a lot too at the beginning of the month. We still had quite a lot, so I didn't have to do that this month. So let's see. So I remember from this day, we had leftover chicken from that. So I used the leftover chicken to make the chicken, cheese, and broccoli noodle. And that worked out really, really good. I did get my exercise in. We took our vitamins. I also make my own homemade fertilizer, and I try and do that every 2 weeks. So I needed to do that this day, so I got that done. I think I wanted to do it on this day, and yeah, I didn't get to it. So you can see I put the little arrow here. So things don't go exactly as planned. I have to switch things around and change it. So it's no big deal though. Things will eventually get done. So we also took the trash out. We also had a little rescue mission. Let's see, I had to make some calls, and we went to go pick up the containers from the rescue mission. We had another garden harvest. For this night's dinner, we were having ham, mashed potatoes, and biscuits, so I just had to set everything out of the freezer to do that. Then, as you can tell, we had a lot going on. I did the harvest, I know I did a bunch, yeah, that's what it was. I did the harvest and a bunch of stuff, and I don't know, I think of the day before, yeah, I did a lot of stuff. I did the fertilizer and T-tap, and because of all of that, I was just so wiped out. So I call this my potato days. This is like a couch potato. I don't do anything, and I like overdid it. So I try and sit and do as much computer work as possible and kind of take it easy and rest a little bit. And we actually even went to town to just get some bagged fried chicken and like packaged potatoes and rolls and stuff, just to make dinner super easy, because sometimes life happens and you're just super worn out and don't have the energy to do that. That added to the money issue, because we did things like that. But sometimes, you just gotta rest. So keep that in mind, please. If you feel like you need to take a break and rest and it's all too much, just take time to rest. On Sunday, I got the refills called in, got the vinegar done. Let's see. We ended up having breakfast sandwiches with the English muffins that I had made before, and we had some really strong storms move through and ended up losing power. And we also had to prep for a big appointment that I had. I had some scary health issues going on, and I had a really big test that they were running, and we had to drive a ways to get to it, and that made it kind of even more stressful because we ended up losing power. But we ended up making it, and we made it to the appointment and got everything, and luckily we had really, really good results. And with all of the storms, we ended up getting that much rain. That's like all the rain we've had in probably 2-3 months, something like that. And this was actually a really good day. We got the really good test results, and we reached over 2,500 subscribers. So thank y'all all so very much. Y'all are all so nice and kind, and I really appreciate each and every one of you, and appreciate y'all watching and liking and commenting and subscribing and sharing, and it's just so nice. I can't believe how nice everybody is. But that made that day even more special, because like I said, I was really, really stressed about the test results, and it was really nice too, because they were able to give me the results that day. I didn't have to worry about it, so that was really, really nice. So that was a really good day. Some other things we did, so since we were gone and had to go a long ways, we just stopped at the store and got some barbecue from the store, and I again got packaged potatoes and had leftover rolls from whatever day that was, Saturday, Sunday that we did that. So that's what we did for dinner that day. A few things I needed to do was back up our passwords. I did that, and also I needed to pencil in some new dates into to my yearly collections journal. This is where I write down like the things I need to remember for each month that happen on a yearly basis. So that's what I do there, just all like kind of like reoccurring things that happen. And so before, you can see Sunday, you can tell what a mess I was. I was so worried about these test results. I didn't even write my weekly home blessing in the right place. I usually write it here, and I did not even get to anything. I was like super stressed. I was kind of like a wreck. So that didn't even happen that week. So that was kind of a bummer there, but you'll see why we didn't get to it later on in the week too. So Tuesday we had more appointments, had to get more paperwork done and get all kinds of stuff sorted, had to take care of my vinegar, and again I was still like not feeling the best. So we had went ahead and ate out with pizza. That was on the list, but I was going to make it homemade, but we just decided to go ahead and do that because it's one of the cheapest things you can do for us where we're at. And then I got my evening routine done, even though I got sick. Something happened whenever we headed home, and I got pretty sick. So I was sick basically until like Friday, I think. So, and then now other family members are sick. So this thing, you know how things are. Everyone passes it, and it lasts a really long time. So we've had a lot of that going on. And you'll notice too that I'm like not getting any exercising done or anything like that. It was kind of rough, but we all made it through. Hopefully everybody's gonna be okay that's going through it all. We're still fighting it here. So on this day I was struggling, so I usually don't put my YouTube stuff on here, but I did this day. I needed to film and had to reschedule some appointments. For dinner we just had leftovers. This day I needed to make my fertilizer. I had done it quite a bit before that, and I just was so stressed and everything, I didn't get it made. So I got that done, and I got my big tote of water filled up, and I forgot to apply my other foliar feed fertilizer. This is another video where I share my homemade foliar feed. I did that on this day. I needed to make tea. I went ahead and made kolaches and got the trash out. So really, really low-key days here coming up. But you can tell I'm starting to feel a little bit better because I did actually make kolaches. And then on Friday, I needed to mail a card, had more appointments. I made buns because we ended up having burgers for dinner. I got my vinegar stirred, and we ended up getting a new type of burger. I just went into a store that's not as big as Walmart because I was not feeling the best. So I just went with somewhere where it's easier, and I got some different burgers than what I usually get, but it was great because we cooked them all up this night, and after they cooked, they didn't shrink like the ones at Walmart. So we ended up having leftovers on the next night, and it was really simple and really easy. So that made those next few days really nice. So I'm starting to feel a little bit better and got my exercises done. I don't write much up here because, like I was saying, I was kind of had a lot going on, and I just wasn't doing much. I was kind of resting more than anything. On this day, I made some calls and got my computer work done. We just had the leftovers. That's another thing I do. Like if I don't use the leftovers the next night, and just to keep things to where it doesn't feel like you're eating the same thing every night, like I'll skip a night. So like we'll have kolaches this night and burgers this night. Then we'll have the leftover kolaches this night, and then the leftover burgers that night. Just to kind of break it up and it doesn't seem quite as monotonous. That works good for us. I did get the vinegar stirred, and I was feeling better, so I got the weekly home blessing hour done, and also got something yummy made. And then we just had an easy dinner that night. And then, so you can see here, I got my weekly home blessing hour made, but I didn't get much done on the planning side of it. Like I said, we were struggling with all the out to eat and appointments and all of these things, so we were struggling and just didn't go to the grocery store, so we just made do with what we had in the pantry and freezer and fridge and all of that. So this day I did get some filming done. I had to write it here again, like I was really struggling. And then my editor was sick, so we're passing passing this on. So the editor was sick here, so I had to edit that video. Hope I did okay. It was my meal ideas video, so hopefully it's okay. If you notice things wrong with it, it's my fault. It's me. I've only done it a few times, so I'm not the best at it. So since we were doing that and just trying to use what we had, we're kind of going to like old standbys like tacos. That's what we ended up doing, and I'm feeling better and getting my exercises in. And also I wrote me a note here that next week I need to be sure and change the vacuum bag. So I wrote that there, so I remember to do that. On this day I got the vinegar stirred, made some calls, I made an appointment. I think we went to an appointment. And then let's see, we just had leftovers. I think what I do whenever we have taco leftovers is I'll do like taco lasagna, but I was just going for really easy, so we just had the same thing over again, and didn't even split it up. We were just trying to make it easy on us. Let's see, I still am exercising, doing my gentle exercising. Stirred the vinegar, made tea, figured the checkbook. Let's see, I got all my emails done that I needed to do. And then this day I made buns and we had burgers, kind of standard. On Thursdays, that's our trash day, so I do that. And what I do too is I don't scratch this off until I go and reschedule it for the following month, or following week, I'm sorry. Yeah, I leave it there. That's like my reminder whenever I do my weekly home blessing hour to move task. I leave it open, and I know to put that on for next week. Let's see. So then I was starting to feel better. So I decided I have been needing to get the bedrooms deep cleaned. So I went ahead and got that done. I got this bedroom deep cleaned and made some yummy dessert there. And we're still just trying to use what we have in the fridge here. So we did fish and cheesy orzo pasta. This is kind of like a rice-a-roni, but a homemade version, and it is super good. And also my cheddar garlic biscuits, that's a members only video if you'd like to check that out. I did my more hardcore exercise, and that probably wasn't a good idea because as you can tell over here, I kind of was running out of steam. But we ended up doing good on this next day and got the other room cleaned. Had to reschedule another appointment. I did get the fertilizer done, and that was really a bad idea to exercise there with all of this going on. It was a lot. So we just had something easy for dinner. I did spaghetti with our homemade sauce, and we had leftover cheddar garlic biscuits, so that's what we used there. And then let's see, this day I needed to stir the vinegar, and I got most of the other bedroom deep cleaned. I still have stuff that I need to do to it, but I got some of that done. And then for dinner that night we had shake and bake chicken and veggies, and that's pretty much it. So that is the month of August. Also, what I like to do is on this extra space, and even if I don't have this extra space, whenever I put it over here, I will put this is like my month at a glance. This is where I put like things I need to remember for the month, and I'll put like any appointments or anniversaries or birthdays or all those things, any important dates that are in my yearly collections journal. I'll just flip to so this would be for September. I'll just flip to that, and this is kind of like more of my normal things that I need to remember. Of course, this one changes based upon Thursday, but this is kind of like my normal schedule. I try and keep everything as scheduled as possible to make it easy on myself to remember everything. And then I try and write down a few goals. I definitely need to work on new recipes because I totally got behind on that this month, and also with the fall garden, I need to get that put in. Hopefully it will cool down, and that will work good. And we can hopefully have a fall garden and get some rain too. That would be nice. So thank y'all all so much for spending time with me today. Hopefully this wasn't too long or too boring or too much. I don't know. This was just a requested video, and I hopefully this will help someone. If nothing else, it kind of helps to show how to do leftovers maybe. But thank y'all all so much for watching. We really appreciate each and every one of y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.